In episode 14 of the Kerb-X Interplanetary Space Program, we return once more to the orbit of Sarnus, where spacecraft launched in our last episode await their mission. The first of these missions takes place on Sarnus' beautiful moon Tekto. Tekto has a low surface gravity but surprisingly thick atmosphere of chlorine gas. Not only is this atmosphere toxic to Kerbals, but also contains no oxygen for traditional jet engine designs. Having been transported to Tekto aboard the Huygens Legacy lander, the specialized spacecraft Scott's Feather is a hybrid of traditional rocket and electric quadrotor helicopter designs. Despite Tekto's green hue, the outermost edges of its atmosphere have a rusted red tinge, and mark the highest altitude at which the electric rotor blades of Scott's Feather begin to function. The incredibly thick gas clouds of Tekto make this journey very dangerous, with the pilot and crew required to operate in near-zero visibility. The surface of Tekto becomes visible through the thick clouds mere seconds before our actual landing, emphasizing the wisdom of our slow descent. The return trip to the outer atmosphere of Tekto is not a short one, but due to the dangerous and violent weather, must be performed very slowly. Once the reddish outer atmosphere is reached, the spacecraft re-engages its nuclear engine to rendezvous with the refuel pod in orbit. Meanwhile, the Huygens Legacy lander, now free of the Tekto mission payload, begins operations on Slate. While the lander does have a substantial amount of scientific research modules on board, the bulk of ground-based research is conducted on the Rumbler rover the craft will leave on the surface. Huygens Legacy departs for the orbital station and its mission to Hale, leaving the Rumbler to complete its mission on the surface. On Slate's daylight side, the Nineveh spacecraft slowly deploys the mining probes it transported from Kerbal, before returning to Sarnus orbit for atmospheric observations. Mining operations on Slate are very similar to our operation on Dress, but the additional surface gravity means that the margin of error for landing and launch of these mining probes is much smaller. As mining on Slate and missions to Sarnus' many moons are conducted, Nineveh sits high in orbit around Sarnus, conducting atmospheric research. Soon, the crew will finish the sojourn at Sarnus, landing at Hale, exploring Ovak, and landing on Elu as well. All this and more, next time on the Kerb-X Interplanetary Space Program.